Albert AWOL, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. This episode of Welcome Home is brought to you by DVC Resale Market. Thank you for joining us on episode 252 of Welcome Home, a Disney Parks and Vacation Club podcast. I'm Tom, here with Damon. Trevor is at Disney right now and posting pictures.
His wife's posting. Let's be honest.
Yeah, his wife. Well, he did put a post in the Discord about how he's about to go on Tron. Although we haven't heard back from him, so hopefully he made it off okay.
Oh, he made it through Tron.
Yeah, hopefully he didn't. But yeah, I hopefully had a good time in that. But we're also joined this week, since we don't have Trevor. We're missing our Canadians, so I brought an almost Canadian on. Becky, you're an honorary Canadian, right? Is that
Canadian adjacent at this point? I think.
So we have the almost Canadian viewpoint here. So that's great. And we also
gosh.
have Blake.
Well, I didn't claim that.
We have the full Golden Button Detour crew.
Right.
Yeah. Wait, has Becky done a Golden Button too, or no?
No, I think we've just had Katie and Lee on outside of, So what's interesting is, though, again, I was not supposed to be here, but it rained. And when it rains and tennis, they don't go well together. So I won't be here next week, though, because they moved everything to next weekend.
Well, I don't know if we're going to do a show next week or not, because I'm also away. So we're going to have to figure that out. But
we'll do a Golden Buttons.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll do that.
We're going to be a 1 hour Golden Button. How about that?
No, we're not. We are 100% not.
No. Not as long as Damon's producing that show.
I refuse. Once I see that 3-9, the show is over. I will cut it right there. It doesn't matter.
We'll do 30 minutes, and then I'll just talk food by myself for like 30 minutes.
There you go. Just quietly talk to yourself. I actually have thought about doing a show by myself, but I'm like, what would that sound like?
It would sound about you talking about food. That's what it would sound like.
Probably, I guess. Before we get started, I should probably correct a mistake I made last week.
You noticed that if I was there, this mistake would not have been. I'm just going to go out there and say that.
I knew you were going to say that too, and it was one of those things where after we recorded and edited, I was like laying in bed at like 11 o'clock at night, and like my eye shot up. I'm like, oh no, I totally forgot to do that.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, I'm not gonna go fix it now. I'll fix it. We'll fix it later on the next show. So I forgot to do the secret word last week for the contest. I apologize for this. We've gotten emails about it, and we've gotten a couple pings about it too. And I'm sorry. I apologize. We had a guest, and it was it threw me off, and I forgot to do the secret word. So if you listened last week and now you're listening this week, the episode 2 secret word was conductor. So that's so you have that now. So you have the first word from the 2 episodes ago. Now you've got conductor. We'll give you the third word today. And it's just a reminder to everybody. So, if you get all 3 words, you want to email contest@welcomehomepodcast.com. And we are going to randomly pick from all of the people that email us at that email address with the 3 words. We're just going to randomly pick somebody to win the prize. So yeah. So sorry, everybody. I apologize. Made a mistake. It happens. But yeah, I knew, Damon, you were going to come on and be like, this wouldn't have happened if I was here.
Well, I mean, I only speak the truth. Now, speaking of me, because we always like...
You really just want to read this review, don't you?
This review really is the only reason I came on. I think I would have probably tried to come in on the Zencastr app just to do this, even if I was at tennis, to be absolutely honest with you. So this is unsolicited, which makes it even better. Like, it's nobody that I know, which I... Again, if it was somebody,
this is the burner.
It really is not. Like, if it was somebody that I knew, I wouldn't be as excited by this. So, yeah, this. No, if it was a burner, it would have been way different than this. The first of all,
more glowing.
It would have been more glowing. It would have been probably funnier, and it would have not have been as grammatically correct. Let's say. So, we have a review.
Telltale. That's the telltale.
Yes, from February 6th. We need more Damon. 5-star review, by the way. Loved the show. Discussion points are all relevant and up to date with the latest Disney news. I mean, I guess that's for you guys as well.
Yeah.
Offers practical discussion on pros and cons of the topic du jour. Would love more mic time for Damon. See, that is great. That's what I love to hear. Many reviews say he is negative. I mean, it's very true. And my kids think that's hysterical, by the way.
That you're negative?
Oh, no. They just find like, they're like, why are all the reviews that are bad about you? I said, that's awesome. I love it. Feed off of that. He is great about offering counterpoints to commonly held understandings about Disney. Like, I don't think that could be summed up any better at exactly what I'm trying to accomplish. Keep the content coming. Great show. Like, I think that's like that line. I was telling Blake, I might actually have a plaque made out of that. Like, I really do. That's literally exactly what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Right? Counterpoints.
That's a burner email. I'm telling you.
No, you know,
so David.
if it was like, I don't even think I would have mentioned it. I just would have let it sit up there. But no, like I'm actually kind of hype about this. Like this is a great review and really hits kind of exactly what I'm going for here. I love it. I love it.
You don't want to read the 2-star review or the 3-star review from a week or so ago.
Oh, I don't care about those. What was that? The one for Golden Buttons?
Yeah, that was the one for Golden Buttons.
Oh,
Yeah.
we laughed about that already. That is a Chad show burner account.
Oh, wow.
100%.
Okay, now you're naming names now.
100% that is.
Wow.
Hey, the thing is, listen, if people want
Those
to
emails
leave reviews like that,
DAMON.
if you want to leave like reviews like that, though, just remember that everyone gets to see every other review that you've written. So it's not like that we can go in and see who it is, but just remember that we can see all the other reviews you've left as well.
Wow, this is I can't believe you're naming names. I just need to say that these viewpoints don't represent the entirety of Welcome Home Podcast. I try to be friends with everybody, Damon, and it's like
Tom's going to add in a bleep.
I'll be able to talk to him in person about it. To be honest, with
because
you.
you're going to be on the same cruise. You're going to be trapped on a boat with him.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be interesting. Like, I'm still kind of like, oh boy, that's going to be interesting.
I still don't understand how that all. Let's not get into it. But
Wait, how that all transpired?
Well,
So here's the thing. So what happened was I was going on that cruise with the Dub D-Dub, whatever that.
Oh, this is not what I mean by what happened. But go ahead.
No. We're going to work our way through there.
We're going to work. Okay.
And then I couldn't go because my son's swimming, which now is irrelevant, which makes it even worse because I would have liked to have gone on that cruise. And some of my friends that were meeting us on that cruise are still going on that cruise. But anyway, so then I signed up for, I think it's like one of the first cruises to, what is that? Light Point, whatever it
Lighthouse
is.
Point.
Yeah.
Sure. And then I don't know, Gina reached out to me. And then like when we signed up like for the group, it was like, wait, what? Like, okay. All right. No, I have no. Listen, all joking aside,
I want to know
ill
where the
will
beef
towards
comes
Chad.
That's why I want to know where the beef comes from.
No, there's really no beef. I just think it's funny at this point. But no, I have no beef. It will be fine. Like, I don't think I'll see them to talk to them. I mean, Gina I'll probably see because how are you going to avoid Gina, right? Like, I think she'll
find you.
She'll find me.
I say that in a nice way, Gina. By the way,
Yes. Yeah, no, I got no beef with any of them. I just think it's funny.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
I mean, if you hadn't clarified, I think people would have just been like thinking Chad in the mail of Karen, and it would have been fine. But you went all in.
I mean, I didn't really though.
Well, this is just what Dan really wants is the podcast wars. He's been wanting us to do a podcast war for like how long now? Years. He keeps going, the beginning of the podcast wars, and it's like there's behind the scenes.
There's no podcast wars. Like I said, we're all doing the same thing, trying to accomplish the same goal.
That's true. Yeah. Listen, I have nothing but, like I've said, I try to be friends with everybody I can. I don't like, having beef with people. I don't like having issues. Like I want to, have a good time with everybody. Like, so,
I mean, I don't think we really have beef with anybody.
No, I don't think so. I mean,
is there an anti-Welcome Home podcast beef somewhere, like a legitimate one?
I don't know. Probably just anti-Damon.
I mean, that's fine too, I guess, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, do we have beef with the other Welcome Home podcast?
Oh, I mean, I don't even know. Are they still doing it? I don't even know. They stopped, right? Like they don't.
A long time ago, I think during COVID. But I wonder, I'm searching. I have to type because I have to see if they come up first.
Wow, I did not even know there was another one.
There's a bunch. There's actually a bunch of Welcome Homes, but not, there's not another Disney Welcome Home, but there's a bunch of other Welcome Homes that are like different themes.
Well, there is this new thing on YouTube where these people have been doing a YouTube and they start every video with Welcome Home podcast.
Really?
That one kind of kills us on YouTube for sure.
I'm going to sue them.
But other than that, I mean, we have most of the front page.
Yeah.
Oh, but there's a fair amount. It's that second Twitter one that gets us, though.
Oh, is it?
They have a pretty big. Well, in comparison,
we have like 600 people that follow us on Instagram, and I'm like, we don't even do anything on Instagram. I'm pretty sure the Instagram logo is still the old logo. Like we do nothing on Instagram. I mean, whatever. It's cool.
Well, the other Welcome Home podcast, we always have to shout out our other Welcome Home podcast friends, is the #1 South Carolina Gamecock podcast. We cover recruiting, team analysis, and provide some inside information.
Okay. Yeah, there's a bunch of different welcome homes. Anyway, so we got Becky and Blake here. Anything else, Damon? You want to talk about any other arguments we want to start with people?
No.
I mean, listen, I think these things are fun. Like I said, I don't have a problem with anybody. I'm good. I like all. So
everybody likes you too. You guys are like the nicest. So
we try to be.
Bad word said.
I mean, I at least try to be. I mean, I don't think that we have anybody that hates us, right? I hope not.
Oh no, we definitely do.
I don't doubt that.
100%.
We do.
Absolutely, we do.
For what Absolutely. Though? What's hateable? I don't know. Like,
success is hateable.
Okay, well, there's that.
Oh,
but
I mean, it just is what it is, man.
All right. Can we talk about a DVC pin?
I mean, I kind of want this pin, I guess.
I mean, it's a sharp looking pin, man. It's like that one of those. It's like the pins that we made, that like the enamel, like really cool. It's a really nice looking pin. I want one.
I do, but then I'm just like, what am I doing with it?
I don't know. You don't collect any pins?
No, I don't collect garbage. I collect cool stuff. Like, this is just not like, what are you doing with it?
What's that saying? One man's garbage is another man's treasure.
Yeah,
well, this is definitely not what I'd be collecting.
It's confusing to me, Damon, because you're like a big like toy collector and stuff. Like,
I am.
So you see the value in those, just not stuff like this.
So I will tell you that I only collect things that like I've lived through, right? So I mean, this to me as a button, like if I'm down there and I got it, I mean, what am I doing with it? What's the nostalgic factor to this?
I mean, it's the fact that it's limited edition. I mean,
I guess.
Does it become nostalgic later?
Yeah, like 10 years. I remember that 10 years ago I got that thing.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's funny, as I'm looking at this link, I do see a bunch of vanilla beans. I wish we were talking about vanilla beans. And how Katie just served Blake.
Oh my god!
Like it was a movie.
Whoa.
She literally just served him. And
what are you guys talking about?
See, Tom, if you're in the group, you
vanilla extract, man. Come on.
Oh, the vanilla beans. Okay, well,
vanilla extract.
And Katie just served Blake.
Extraction of the vanilla, really.
She just served Blake.
Served is a little strong. We had a difference of opinion. Okay.
I don't know, dude. I think it was a serving.
Nah.
Wait, because you're making your own vanilla extract? Is that what's going on?
Well, no.
I happen to be, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Blake's cutting corners and thinks he's making vanilla extract.
I am using technology to my advantage. That's what I'm doing.
No.
What does that mean?
So
go ahead. I mean, we should have had Katie on. She is a vanilla expert. She gives classes.
There's a couple of ways you can do it. Yes, she does.
She gives classes. Like, she's a vanilla expert. Like, I was like super psyched to hear that.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. So I make mine in the Instapot, right? Normally, if you make vanilla, you have to let it sit for a long time. And I mean a long time.
Yeah.
So
it's called having patience.
You can put it in the Instapot in canning jars, just like if you were canning vegetables or fruits. And it cuts down the time needed tremendously.
But it doesn't. It's not the same, though.
It is
That's
the same.
Problem.
It is.
Not for the vanilla expert, man.
I'm just reading Katie's posts here.
Yeah, dude, it's not the same. She's telling you it's not the same.
I do like he's not necessarily lazy, but possibly impatient.
Yeah, I love it. That's called being served.
That's really funny. Yeah, no,
I there's something to be said for efficiency, man. I'm with you.
Yeah, look.
Yeah.
But there is this whole thing about, right? Like, same thing with alcohol, right? Aging versus not, right?
Yeah,
same thing, man.
I keep getting ads. I don't know if this has got to be terrible, but I keep getting ads for like this thing that you can just put in any sort of fruit juice and it turns it into wine in like a couple weeks. And I'm like,
I've seen that.
You've seen it, right?
Did you see the guy, the wine guy though? There's a wine guy on YouTube and he just made Mountain Dew wine.
Yeah. How do you do that? How do you do that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You got to go watch that. It's a very interesting process.
You can Well, this is like you can just pour this stuff in and it makes wine out of any fruit juice. And I'm like,
with time, I'm assuming.
No, it takes like 2 weeks. It says.
I mean, that's still time, but okay.
It's not that much time. Yeah,
it's longer than Blake's vanilla extraction that he thinks he's getting.
Gosh. I do let it sit before I use it
for 9 months.
Some of the jars, yeah. Because
wait, so you're letting yours sit for 9 months, Damon?
Yeah, because that's the way you do it.
That just seems excessive.
No, I mean Katie was saying that you got to go a year. Like I think 9 months is a lot.
So then do you call it like aged vanilla extract?
No, I mean there's all sorts of like rules and levels. There's like 2-time, 3-time like vanilla extract. There's all different alcohols that you can use, and yeah, I'm all in. So I started my first one, and then I'm gonna do another one after that one's done.
Meanwhile, a year later, he's going to forgot he did it, and then it's all going to sit in the back of the pantry.
I bake a lot.
He's got a alert on his phone to tell him.
It was like a calendar invite for himself.
Yeah,
future Damon, don't forget to get it.
As I've gotten older, I will tell you that Outlook is definitely been good to me.
That's correct.
Sure.
Yeah.
I use stuff like 6 months out, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to remember that. Let me just put it on my Outlook calendar.
Yep.
I've gotten into the habit now. Whenever I do like a free trial of a subscription, I do the free trial and then I immediately put in my calendar the very last day, cancel this thing, right? Like, because just so I don't forget,
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I try to do.
Warranty on our new dryer, and it's like if you don't use the warranty, you get however much money to the place. And we're like, oh, I'll put that on calendar invite to myself in 5 years.
Exactly.
I'm going to come in and get my $50. I don't.
There you go. Yeah, you gotta remind yourself of these.
It's about and I mean 5 years. Look, I do it for something the same evening. Like I don't want to forget before I go to bed. Oh, I better give myself an invite.
If only I would have done one for the secret word for the contest, we would have been in. But sometimes things happen.
Right, listen, we got to talk about this meet and greet now. What is this thing?
Well, we were going to talk about it specifically because Trevor could go to this. So
but is he going to go? Trevor seems like he is not going to do all this. He has got a plan.
He does.
It is set in friggin' stone. There is no adjustments to said plan. But
he's spending a lot of time in Epcot, and if you can just wander out of the back of Epcot and go over to the Atlantic Dance Hall,
I feel like that's going to throw off his plan. I feel like he's a plan-oriented sort of person, and I think he almost has to be because he doesn't go as often. Well,
and it's because he's taking such a long. I mean, it's so far away. He just kind of has to make sure everything goes. At least semi well. I mean, except for and plus the last couple trips he's had have been ruined by hurricanes. So, and I say a last couple. If you haven't listened to the show that long, literally the last couple trips have been ruined by hurricanes. Poor Trevor keeps getting hit by hurricanes. But essentially, this is they're doing a membership meet and treat thing on the 13th, 14th, 20th, and 21st of February. And essentially, it's from 2 to 4 p.m. It's at the Atlantic Dance Hall, and it looks like it's an opportunity to pose with Disney characters as well as get some free treats. Listen, I'm always for free things. Like if I were, if I were at the boardwalk, I would pop in.
I feel like this is a trap, though.
It's a trap.
This is an Akbar trap, 100%. Dude,
what? Think 5 more points? Like, is that
no? Like it's going to be only 2 hours, right?
Yeah, this is going to be.
It is going to. Listen, I could be wrong, but I feel like it's trap. It's going to be mob beyond belief. I feel like it's going to be a disaster.
They did this. I don't know if it was holidays or if it was Halloween, but they did this, and it was lines for sure.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, it very well could be. Yeah,
it's a trap, and that's why I don't think if I was Trevor, I would go anyway because I think it's a time trap.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if there's a long line, yeah.
You are not walking in and being like, oh, cool, let me get some free stuff and a picture of Mickey. All right, snap, snap. All right, cool, I'm out. Like, that is not going to be what happens here.
Let me ask you this, Damon. Does the equation change if it's like a rare character that you'd want to see? Like if it's like I don't know.
No, there's no such thing because there's nothing to do with those pictures.
What if they had a gummy bear? Was it gummy bears?
Okay, but what are you doing with those pictures? Again, I refute this because I don't think you do anything with those pictures.
Speaking of what do you do with those pictures, I received my my Figment popcorn bucket that you said, why would you get it?
I mean, I just don't know what to do with them.
I mean, to be fair, I looked at it.
What
for
do you do with your other pictures, though?
I thought you were the one that's the fan of the memory.
Yeah, you're the picture.
Sure,
yeah, Becky.
But I don't.
Yeah,
but I don't. I don't need that after 3 hours. Like those are like family pictures, right? So the biggest part of that picture is the family, not the gummy bear. You get what I'm saying?
Well, that's true with everything that you take of a picture at Disney.
Exactly. That's the whole point.
That's the whole thing. Yeah.
Yes, that's the whole point.
I do have to say the Figment popcorn bucket was pretty cool.
But back to the Figment popcorn thing. I mean, here's the problem. Like, I mean, I guess if you get one of something, like it's okay, you're out there and you're doing a popcorn bucket, sipper, whatever it is, and you have one of them and it happens to be somewhere, that's cool. But like, I know it's not just one. So what are you doing with 5 popcorn buckets?
I mean,
you're rotating them through, or are they all out like you live in some sort of like junkyard from Fat Albert? Like, what? I don't understand.
What a weird reference.
That was a deep cut, man.
That really is. No, I mean, I don't disagree with you, Damon, right? Like, because I don't really have a good solution for this, right? Like, I don't have like a place where I display all these things. Truthfully, they sit in my pantry on the top shelf, and that's already where the Figment one was. But I enjoyed it for the time that it was. And by the way, we had a friend of my wife's gave it to her, like, so we didn't even pay for it; it was free. So, I mean, and when we got it,
but you weren't there. Right.
No, but I don't care that I wasn't there. I got it. It's there. I wasn't there for the Figment Funko Pops either, but I got one.
So we have Disney popcorn buckets. We have 2 that are like the generic park refillables, but those are actually from Cruise Line because from the shows. But then I have one that's like, I think it's like a lotus flower from when, oh gosh, the Animal Kingdom nighttime show that wasn't the one where the kites took over the crowd.
Rivers of Light.
The one before. Yeah. Yes.
I like
and it was given to us as like a free thing when we booked a meal, or it was some random thing and we ended up with it. But I will say, we have 5 kids. We use those popcorn buckets because we have a giant theater size popcorn popper and we make a ton of popcorn and then everybody gets their own bucket and we don't argue.
Well, listen, like the generic ones are great for that, right? Like are super useful. Like the Figment one is more looks than capacity, right? Like it doesn't hold a lot of popcorn. In fact,
we didn't even put your hand in there.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's well designed and everything, and it lights up and all that fun stuff. But I don't know. It's just it's not conducive to holding a lot of popcorn. I will say that. But I like it. It's useless. Cool. Yeah, I agree. It's useless. I have 3. I want to say 3 popcorn buckets. I have the alien from Toy Story, where its mouth opens and all the popcorn's in there. That one we got years and years ago. I'm trying to remember when that one even was. It might have been like 5 years ago. And then I got a Skyliner one, the one that I was down when I was down with Trevor. I bought a Skyliner one and then wore it around my neck for the rest of the day because I didn't feel like carrying it. And I looked kind of ridiculous, let's be honest, but I'm a big Skyliner person, so I really wanted that popcorn bucket. And I have the Figment one, and I'm trying to think if I have another one. I think it might just be those 3. And then I have a bunch of the, like we were talking about, I've got a bunch of the refillable ones, right? I think I probably have like 5 of those. But I also don't want to throw them away. Like when I don't want to create more weight. Like, if I had 5 kids, Becky, I'd be in really good shape. But I do not. So
most people don't.
Yeah. Blake, do you collect any of these or no?
No, I've never seen the point of popcorn buckets other than the general one.
There you go, Blake.
To me, that's just like they just don't hold enough. If I'm going to pay that much money for a refill on popcorn, I better get more than 2 bites out of it. That's all I'm saying.
So even the generic ones, though, because I feel like the generic ones I've gotten my money out of. Like I think I refilled the day that I went to Magic Kingdom one time for one day during Thanksgiving week. Like we refilled that thing like 4 times for like $2.
Well, we did too, and that's the general ones are great because they're just a cylinder and they hold more.
Yes.
But then you get like Figment. And the popcorn's going to get all down in his feet and in his arms, and you can't get it out. I mean,
they give you the refills in the little paper carton.
But popcorn in general is just a scam at Disney. I feel like
popcorn in general is a scam everywhere.
Yes,
I mean, given how much you pay for it at the movie theater, it's like, you know,
well, I would never
profit.
though. Yeah,
you never pay for that at the movie theater?
Absolutely not.
Oh, I do.
Because popcorn's just a scam.
It is.
But it's a good, tasty scam, though, man.
No, dude, popcorn is fine if like you're making yourself with nothing on it, or like, but like movie theater popcorn, no.
I like the taste of the movie theater butter like that you put on it, but I never do because it makes such a mess. You know what I mean? Like I just can't. I'm a big like. I need my hands to be clean. I don't like greasy hands or anything like that.
I agree. I can't use lotion either.
Oh god, lotion too. I have a hard time with. Yeah.
This winter, for whatever reason, it was so dry down here. Normally in North Carolina, it's extremely,
humid.
We'll go humid. It just rains a lot, right? Yeah. Isn't that what is that? It rains more in North Carolina, at least where I am, than it does in Seattle. Seattle has more days of rain, but we have more rain. Like it rains here, it rains. But anyway, it was just to the point where it was so dry and my hands were like hurting so bad. I just don't do lotion though. I just don't. Yeah,
because it's the same reason, right? You don't like I hate that greasy feeling on my
hands.
Feel
unclean.
Yeah.
Very what's his name from the league?
Yeah, forever unclean, for sure. Unclean. That's all I thought of when you said
that. How did we get all the way here from the Valentine's Day?
I am trying to figure out where we are on this.
I don't even know.
We're done. We're at our ad is where we are.
We're out of things to talk about. Okay, so do you want to do the ad? I mean, this is going to be a short episode. I'm surprised.
No,
there's not a lot to talk about. So
I mean, dude, every episode should be short anyway. An hour. Like
some people like the long episodes.
You guys tricked me into this whole, we're going to do it every week, so we're going to cut it down. Like you guys just ramble, man, for 2 hours,
some
2.5 hours.
Like the long episodes, though. We hear this all the time.
The numbers say otherwise, my friend.
All right.
I'm a believer just saying, in math and data.
People reach out to us sometimes. They're like, I missed the long episodes, or I want
one person out of a million. But go ahead, Tom.
All right.
You do your ad here.
I will do the ad. Okay, fine. So this episode is sponsored by DVC Resale Market. DVC Resale Market, a World of DVC company, is the leader in the DVC resale industry with 13 former Disney Vacation Club guides and 3 former Disney Vacation Club quality assurance managers. If you're thinking of buying DVC, browse the largest selection of DVC resale listings anywhere, with DVC experts on hand 7 days a week to answer your questions. If you're thinking of selling, turn to the friendly professionals at DVC Resale Market, where over 98% of listings sell within 30 days. And in 2023, DVC Resale Market helped over 4,400 families join or add on to their memberships. Go to dvcresalemarket.com/welcome home or call 1-844-DVC-PROS. That's 1-844-382-7767. And when you speak to them, be sure to let them know that Welcome Home sent you. All right, Damon, you want to do the secret word for this episode, or should I do it?
You can do it.
All right. I already did. All right. So the last secret word of our contest is pineapple. So pineapple. Don't ask me where we got these words from, but they don't really all have anything to do with each other, I feel like, either, but pineapple. I mean, I guess Dole Whip, right? No?
Yeah.
Way to go with that moral support there, Becky.
I don't know if you guys know this, but like this is a podcast where we all have to talk to each other.
Well, I was going to say it's funny that you got pineapple because aren't you the one that doesn't?
That's a fair point. Yeah, I don't like pineapple. Yeah, I really don't.
But then I feel like week 2's secret word was up your alley. Like
conductor, because it was about trains. Look, Becky, right. You just know everything about me. This is, Well,
yikes.
That's kind of scary.
I listen every week. So
well, yeah, that's why. Yeah, I've talked about my love for trains and my dislike for pineapple on the show. So, you know, it's weird
and
too.
the pineapple, like you're wrong, so that's why I remember it.
No, that's fair. I mean, yeah, my taste is wrong, I guess. I don't hate pineapple. Like I'll have a Dole Whip. It's just not my favorite thing. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was also just going to say too that you know, you mentioned that I don't like coconut either. I don't know how everybody feels about coconut on here, but it's Girl Scout cookie season. You love coconut, okay? It's Girl Scout cookie season.
Yes, it is.
And the Samoas, or I think they're called by a different name now, but that's the only application of coconut that I like. Like I will destroy a box of those. Like absolutely destroy a box of those. There's a knockoff version of those in the grocery store too that I found.
The Walmart brand of Girl Scout cookies, like at least 3 of them, they are all very close. And I went through Girl Scouts all the way through high school, and I'm my daughter's leader as well. Yeah, I still tell people, I'm like, and when the season's over, go to Walmart. It's terrible. But that version is amazing. They're very, very close.
Yeah, I tend to, when I see Girl Scouts, I tend to just like give them money and be like, don't give me cookies. Like I'll donate to your cause, but I don't want cookies, please. Like, cause I have enough things in my house I shouldn't be eating. Like, you know? So I have to limit it even more when this is going on. So anyway, let's talk about the Disney earnings recap that you know, they just did their earnings last week and they announced a lot of things like they tend to do within their earnings. Just, you know, high level, just go through a couple of these and then we can talk about them in detail. But first of all, they were talking about the feature length animated sequel to Moana, which Moana was the #1 most streamed movie of all streaming services last year, which is crazy to me considering how long ago it came out, but it's #1.
Still haven't seen it.
I mean, sure,
really?
Nope.
Not contributing to those numbers.
Yeah, David's not contributing. But I was surprised to see that. I guess I would have thought like Frozen would have been higher on the list still, because I know my daughter still is more into Frozen. My daughter loves Moana, but she's more into Frozen than Moana.
I'm not a fan of The Rock.
Is that? I mean, are you the only person that doesn't like The Rock? I mean, besides
like in my family.
I mean, in existence, like people like generally like him. As
I don't think that's the case.
It's too much.
I agree with you, Becky, right? Like I'm saying, I don't mind him, but he just has shown up in too many things. It's overload of he's Star Wars properties, right? Like just too much of it. There's too much.
I just don't think he's a great actor.
Oh no, he's not.
With you.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
he was a better wrestler than he was an actor.
Right.
So did you see that it's scheduled to be released the same weekend as Wicked, the theatrical version of Wicked?
They're doing.
How many times are they going to do Wicked?
No, this is like a movie, not another.
They made a movie of the. I know, so is it a musical though? Is it still a musical? Or
yes, it's still going to be a musical.
So it's the same thing. But
it's yeah, okay. I mean, it's like the Mean Girls one that just came out, right?
No, Blake, I did not see that there was the same.
Yes. To answer your question, Blake, I didn't even know they were making that.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I can't remember who's releasing Wicked, but I wonder if they're going to blink and move that off that date now.
Is you really think Wicked's going to be that big of a draw? I mean,
yeah, Wicked's huge in the musical circles.
Yeah.
Even if you watch it,
how big is the musical?
Yes, I've seen it at DPAC and it was very good. By the way,
did you see it in Broadway?
No.
Okay.
I don't have Damon money to throw around to go up to New York.
I just live there. That's all. I mean,
Damon money.
I just live there.
I like it. No, I mean, listen, I think it's good. I think it's interesting, by the way, that this was going to be a series that they were going to put on Disney Plus, and then
which would have been well worth it.
Yeah, but
they got to make money, man.
Well, yeah, there's that. But I mean, I think they also said though that they liked how the series was coming together. And
that's talk for we need money.
I mean, I don't think it is. They had an incredible, quarter.
What, incredible year of animated films?
No, but I'm saying they had a great quarter. I think they're on a good. I don't think it's like they have to do Moana 2 to make money. I mean, they also still want to steer people towards Disney Plus.
No, I think this is more of a play towards, we know that Moana 2 will do well, right? Based on the stream numbers. So why not? They're not making money off of it on Disney Plus in theory, right?
Well, they are. They're just not. It's a lot more difficult to judge how much money they're making off. Right. Yeah. It's not.
We're a theater release. I mean, I think that they need something. I mean, their theater releases haven't been strong. This is something that should be strong. Lead them into, Inside Out 2, which, while I think is going to be a great movie, it's still not that strength of Moana or something that caters to younger kids. Listen, Inside Out is going to be phenomenal, but from what I've seen, but it is not a sell $8 billion worth of toys sort of movie.
No,
Do you think that's because it's not a musical type movie?
I don't remember. Inside Out?
Yeah.
No, because it's about a teenager going through changes.
It's a heady concept, right? Like where Moana is just like, more relatable, I feel like, I guess. But
no, I mean, you have a 5-year-old. Okay, what do you think? Yeah, Moana or Inside Out 2?
Yeah, my daughter's going to go Moana. She's never, she has no even.
And the IP and licensing fees are going to far exceed.
I agree. I mean, I understand what you're getting at, Blake. Like the first one was popular, but not anything that you thought, because you don't have that earworm that's constantly being played on everything everywhere for all the kids to know all the words of the one song, and the parents like, it's not that bad, and then you watch it again and again. Yeah, I think I totally
look at the list. Go ahead and finish that thought.
Oh yeah, just totally why the like shows that do have those Frozen, all of these, is that skyrockets once that music gets released. It's over.
Well, that was all Encanto, right? Encanto was huge because of the
exactly. Yeah. Now, look, you've got Encanto, you've got Frozen, you've got
But Moana, you're all catering to a different audience.
I think it's more because of music. Look at the ones that didn't do well. Lightyear.
Yes, they're catering to a different audience.
But
by the way, I watched half of Elemental and I enjoyed it. So,
well, for sure, but that's I'm not
your
disagreeing.
Money's going to be made right from your IP, your licensing. So I'll throw songs in there. That's fine. It doesn't matter, right? But it's all about that age, right? The age is where that money kind of comes together. Look at all just the top Disney grossing movies in general in that set. They're all gauged towards younger kids. There's just a lot more money there.
Well,
so I just don't think
kids are the ones that regurgitate the music better.
Yeah.
So. But it's if you're going to take the concept of something like what was that one, Turning Red?
Yeah, Turning Red. Yeah.
So if you take something that's just geared up a little bit older, and Inside Out 2 is that little bit older, they just don't seem to do as well overall as a IP themselves.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, and there's also the merchandising.
If it's an Inside Out 2 land somewhere, I mean, let me know.
No, I mean, to your point though, Damon, there's the merchandising piece, right? Like
absolutely.
they do a lot. Like my daughter has a Moana, action. I guess it's a doll, right? It's a Moana Barbie kind of thing. And then, I mean, she's also got that for Encanto too, right? She doesn't have it for Inside Out.
I would agree. And what's nice for them is that Disney, at the end of the day, is what they're saying is, hey, we're just licensing the IP. They don't even have to foot that bill of putting out the funds for that stuff. Yeah. It's just a straight collective money for them.
That tends to be what they do, right? They usually license these things out to, like Hasbro and all those companies, and they just go and do it. Yeah. So, yeah.
Listen, I'm looking forward to Inside Out 2. I am not looking forward to Moana.
Well, because you haven't seen the first one, so.
Well, even if I did, I wouldn't be looking forward to it, and I'm not buying Moana toys.
No. But we will definitely in my house be seeing Moana 2.
Absolutely.
And we'll definitely be seeing the new Frozen whenever it comes out. Because listen, there's my daughter still listens to Frozen songs.
Yeah, I get it. But it's not, I don't know. I was never a big Frozen. My daughter was, into Frozen back in the day. But not so much.
So so that we got Moana. What else did they announce? Maybe that's what was missing, Damon, because they announced a bunch of movies, like their release dates or time periods.
Yeah, was there something in there that I had interest in?
I don't know. Was there?
I don't know. I have to Google.
Now you have to Google. Yeah. The other interesting thing that we've got going on here is, and I thought this would be the thing that you're most interested in, Damon, is that Disney has invested $1.5 billion in Epic Games, which is, the maker of Fortnite, which I know nothing about Fortnite. I will say, it's not a thing that I'm into, but I know it's huge. And I really thought that it was interesting that Iger was talking about how, like, when he first came back, that Josh D'Amaro came, and if somebody is mad how I'm pronouncing it, I don't care. D'Amaro, whatever. But listen, he came into his office and was basically like showing him data on like younger generation and how it's like Fortnite is the way to go. And I think it's a really smart investment for them.
I mean, I think it is. I think there's a lot more here though than just that, right? So you had Epic, right? We haven't seen a lot of build on their new headquarters recently, right? And then with the cutback of jobs, I think it was telling that not a beam has been put up of that new headquarters, which I'm at pretty regularly, right? So I think that the big thing is that people are kind of missing out on this is not going to be something where you're seeing more of an integration of, the characters within Fortnite, right? Like, I mean, we already kind of have that anyway.
Yeah.
I believe that this is going to be something that enables them to use the technology of Fortnite to not only allow for new gaming, but also, I would say, kind of new experiences is what I'm looking at. I mean, think about it. There was a competitor to Fortnite. It went under right there. You can read that article. It's a very interesting article about, a lot of these games that come out first that don't make it because of whatever reason. But I think that there's a lot of good in the way that Fortnite works and how they've kind of knocked out that whole battle royale to perfection at this point. I think they're going to use that technology for a lot of different things. Experiences, I think.
Well, and then kind of what, to your point, Damon, what they said is, what if we create a gigantic Disney world a la Fortnite that could live next to Fortnite and be completely interconnected with it, a world where people could play games that we create, could create their own games, could watch. You can imagine the creation of short form videos, and we may even use the platform to actually distribute some of our content. Also, people could interact with one another and ultimately some form of shopping
like
as well.
A competitor to Metaverse?
That's kind of what it seems like they're trying to do, because they said they were going to try to get into the metaverse. And this kind of seems like instead of building it themselves, they're just going to spend $1.5 billion to have Epic do it for them. Right.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to be said. Well, who is Epic? The one that has that really cool video wall that we were talking about, like the Mandalorian wall? Isn't that who has it?
I don't know.
There's so much research here that I have to.
I don't know what you're talking about, so I don't.
Tom, where's Trevor when we need him?
He's at Disney. I
think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I think that's on NC State's campus as part of their technology.
There's this video thing for FX, right, and things like that. But like, it was one of those things where if you watch it, there is like you can have a flashlight in your hand as the actor and shine it onto this video wall, and the wall will make it seem like you're shining a flashlight. I know that they're using something similar in The Mandalorian, but I believe that it was another company as well that was doing something in the video game realm. And things like that would be really neat as well.
I was listening to, or I was watching a YouTube video of someone who, like, all they do is go through movies and break down every little detail. It's called New Rockstars. I don't know if you've watched them, but he was looking at this specific video that Disney put out, and he called it, I thought this was really interesting, he called it the Oasis, from Ready Player One, the movie. Like, I think that might be where this is going, where you're going to be able to step into the world of Frozen. You're going to be able to step into the world of Star Wars. You're going to be able to step into the world of Indiana Jones. I mean, how cool would that be?
A nice open world concept, kind of based on an island like the Fortnite scenario, would be great.
See, I kind of even look at it as Wreck-It Ralph 2. Where they're on the internet, and it's like, and they almost, I don't know if you guys saw the concept art of this. It's kind of that. It's just like all these different hubs of, here's a Lucasfilm hub, here's a Marvel hub, here's a Pixar hub, here's a Disney store, there's a World of Disney thing in the middle. Like, kind of seems like what they're trying to do. And it's, I mean, I think it's a cool idea. Like I said, I know nothing about Fortnite. I know, literally nothing. It's not something I'm into, but I mean, I know, what they're trying to accomplish here, like you said, Damon, is kind of like the metaverse, but it's, they're doing it with Epic's help and doing it. Like you said, they already have the characters they already have a partnership with them, right? They already have a partnership. The characters show up in Fortnite. I know that. And, I know they use some of their technology for other things in the parks and, elsewhere. So the fact that they're expanding their relationship here and are going to do something really interesting, I think it's a really smart investment by them. Blake, I don't know if you were going to say something. I'm sorry if I interrupted you.
No, I was just thinking, I'm glad they're doing it with Epic. I mean, let's be honest, Disney's track record with video games has not been stellar. So I think they needed someone who that's their bread and butter. And I think they're getting that with Epic.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because they actually addressed that in the meeting. Like someone said, like, hey, you've had kind of mixed success with video gaming, right? Like, and and had different strategies because they tried to do it themselves at different times. They've just licensed characters out before, like we talked about. They've and it's varying degrees of success, right? It just depends. So this is kind of. Like you said, it's a good partnership to help them create this new world that they're trying to create. Disney's really good at putting their properties everywhere they possibly can and in front of as many eyes as possible, right? So
I wonder if they're going to tie this in with the new Vision Pro that came out from Apple.
Well, I mean, they already have they're one of the few apps that's on there. I think for Disney Plus is on there already, so. Wouldn't see why not. I mean, a couple board members are some of the biggest shareholders are Apple people. So, I mean, it's possible. I'm still mad that the only phone cases that they make are for Apple phones. So that's annoying to me.
I'm with you in that bitterness.
Yeah, I just like, why? Like at this, come on. By the way, just to go back to the movie thing, I just was looking here. So we talked about Moana. We didn't talk about the Mufasa, the Lion King, the Lion King prequel that they're making, which I can't decide if I'm interested in or not.
I need to see more to figure that out.
And now they've got James Earl Jones's voice licensed on AI.
Do they really?
Yes, he's licensed his voice out.
Wow. Okay.
And his estate is going to benefit off that. I mean, years to come.
I guess that's the thing to do. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess I didn't realize that this was going to be the quote unquote live action Lion King. Not the like animated, but animated in a different way, right? Lion King, which I actually didn't mind. By the way, the newer Lion King, I thought it was fine. I liked some of the things they did, and I didn't find it all that creepy like some people did, but.
You're talking about the pseudo live action one.
I don't even know what to call it, right? Because it's still animated. Yeah. It's just animated like in a realistic way, right? I don't know.
That one was better than the Jungle Book one, in my opinion. But
I like the Jungle Book. You don't like the Jungle Book one?
I couldn't make it 10 minutes into that.
Really? I thought the Jungle Book one was surprisingly good.
I feel like it was well done. I just it was the creepy factor. I was like, no, that looks weird.
The Uncanny Valley was heavy on you, is what you're saying.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I will say one of the things I did see about Moana too is that Lin-Manuel Miranda is not returning to do the songs, which I think is that could be a problem, right? I mean, his songs were a big part of that movie, obviously, and so I mean, listen, they might be able to. Whoever's taking that over, could do a good job with it, but he's been like the gold standard. For the past couple of years now. So
to circle back to Blake's point, if the music isn't great in this, I don't think it carries as much weight at all as if it was just another animated release sequel.
So, I mean, it's a fair point. Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
I saw someone on the internet saying that some of these sequels look like the old direct to VHS sequels that they used to do.
Ooh,
which Little Mermaid 17.
Yeah, I mean, where Ariel has a kid at one point, right? Like, doesn't she have a kid? I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Melody. Yep.
Yeah, she has a kid. Yeah, and then I mean, although I seem to remember Aladdin 2 being pretty decent.
It's an interesting one. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, that one's not bad, right? But yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's that. I mean, listen, I know some people like to say that, like, oh, don't do sequels, do original things, but like sequels are the safe thing, man. Like there were some original properties that made a lot of money this year, but for the most part, sequels are making more money than just a brand new, and Disney's really kind of been bitten by this lately. They've tried to do non-sequels and the non-sequels have not gone well. So, I mean, Encanto obviously was good, and that didn't really get a fair shake at the box office, right? Like that was a pandemic casualty, but I mean, it was huge on Disney Plus, and it was huge. I mean, I think that album was like the soundtrack was like number one for like a really long time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's tough to do original IP anymore because you don't you spend $200 million on it, and if it fails horribly at the box office, it's like, okay, well, we'll do Toy Story, 12 instead, because we'll just keep doing Toy Stories because every time we do, it makes $900 million,
I mean, they're a business. They got to make their backup money wherever they can. And then,
yeah.
They got to pay for this $60 billion park investment somehow.
Oh, wow. Look at you trying to do a transition. That was
segue.
Good.
It was a solid segue.
But I wasn't done talking about movies. I wanted to talk about this Pixar movie, Elio. Have you seen this one? So this Pixar film in 2025, Elio is a young boy transported to space after making contact with aliens, where he becomes an ambassador for Earth in a major planetary gathering that's an intergalactic version of the United Nations. And so there's basically that's what the concept for the movie is. Kind of sounds fun. So
I'm sure I'll see it.
That was supposed to come out this year, but it's going to come out next year now. So
okay.
And then Zootopia 2.
Thanks, Moana 2.
Yeah, geez, Moana 2. Thanks. And then we got Toy Story 5, which is happening. That was the most audible sigh I've ever heard on the podcast.
Becky spoke for all of us right there.
And it's still going to make $1 billion.
Yeah.
I thought Toy Story 4 was fine. I didn't dislike it. It was good. I mean, they ended so perfectly on 3, though. It felt like, why do anything past that? But I don't know. I'll be interested to see what this one's going to look like.
Yes.
And then Frozen 3, which, I'm okay with Frozen 3. Good, make more Frozens. That's fine. They're going to make Frozens forever, I'm sure. Listen, my daughter's still obsessed with Anna and Elsa. Like, her bed sheets are Anna and Elsa. So, like, I mean, when was the last time? 2019 was the last movie it came out 5 years ago.
My high school sons used Lost in the Woods as their audition song for their musical this year. Like, they don't care. They love it.
That song is great.
Good music. Yeah.
That song is, I mean, but that song's like 80s music video, like great. Like
right, exactly.
the whole sequence is amazing.
It really was. Yeah.
This very much appeals to people that grew up in the 80s and 90s. So
I'm pretty positive the reason they chose it was because their musical was Into the Woods, and so they were just trying to be ironic, but it worked out.
It did work out. I mean, it's fair. It's good. All right, so there's that. Those are the ones I think that they've announced. I mean, there's some that they announced that are still like, kind of in development, like, limbo, like the Tower of Terror movie, the live action Hercules, the live action Lilo and Stitch. There's a bunch of stuff that they announced a long time ago that who knows if it's still happening or not. Those kinds of things. I still want to know what they're going to do with the Tower of Terror movie, but it's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about parks, right? So, I think the big news here, obviously, the thing that everybody was reading, and is that, and sorry, Blake, I know you attempted to do a really smooth transition, and it was very good, but man, I had more things to talk about. So,
swing and a miss.
It's you try to get. I can edit it. I'll move it around. No, I'm just kidding. So Disney CFO said we plan to invest approximately $60 billion in the business over the next 10 years. Of which approximately 70% is earmarked for incremental capacity expanding investments around the globe, which we expect to generate attractive returns. And he says the first one, so that somebody asked, for more specifics about that. And he said, I'll take the first one on parks, timing, location. We're already hard at work at basically determining where we're going to place our new investments and what they will be. You can pretty much conclude that they'll be all over, meaning every single one of our locations will be the beneficiary of increased investment and thus increased capacity, including on the high seas where they're building 3 more ships. So, and then he said, I'm not going to give you a sense of timing, except that we're hard at work at getting on these things done. We've got a menu of things that will basically start opening in 25, and then there'll be a cadence every year of additional investment and increased capacity. So it's interesting because I heard people, talking like it's interesting term to say increased capacity, right? Because that just makes it seem like they're just going to, add another track to Toy Story Midway Mania, right? Like that's, which is not what this is, right? This is building new lands, building new rides. Like this is not, I think it's just, boardroom talk for building new things, right?
Like a park?
They're not building a whole park.
Easy.
Do we need to get into the fifth gate conversation again? And how nobody...
You know what? Yes, let's have that conversation because I'm on the side that I think it's not off the table.
I agree
that way.
Listen, I don't think it's off the table either. I just don't think they're going to do it. Go ahead, Becky. Sorry.
No, I agree. It's not off the table. I was waiting to hear what else he would.
I think here's what I think. I think because of what Universal's doing with Epic Universe. I think Disney kind of almost has to do it.
I don't think they do. I really don't think they care about Epic Universe.
They better, because look, Universal's CEO even said when they introduced that thing, he said, we want the family to come for a week. They're going for that traditional
for a
week-long vacation that has been Disney's domain since time began, right?
I still think, the main attractions at those two are like Super Nintendo and I guess Harry Potter. I don't know.
Whatever, man. The week is still split between Disney and Universal at that point. Like, you're not getting a week. I don't know.
Right now, you're not.
My time at Universal, but
Universal right now.
Oh gosh, that's
a lot.
But that's why they're building that park, is to make it a week long.
Yeah,
it's still an amped up Six Flags, man. Like,
I love. Thank you, Becky.
Like,
I've been saying this
too much. Like, I grew up going to Six Flags. I'm from St. Louis, and that was it. That was what my brother actually managed with there. Like, it's the transitions from each part of the park to each part of the park. Like, just nothing.
I think they're going to change that with Epic, like the whole portal thing. And the How to Train Your Dragon, man! If they get that right, boy, that could be really immersive. And the whole Ministry of Magic. By the way, where's Damon? Like,
he probably stepped out of here.
Yeah.
But no. Listen, I'm not saying
great. In each area is its own amazing part, but you go from one to the next. You're like, oh man, that'll just slap me in the face because now I'm in the Simpsons land. Like, then you're gonna have two trash, not trash. You're gonna have two like Six Flags Plus. And then you're going to have one awesome. So,
you know what? Right now, you might be right, but I think the money they're going to make from Epic Universe, they're going to use to upgrade the more traditional side. And when I say traditional, the older side.
But I'm just even looking at so some of the concept art for the portals looks cool, and some of the things that they're going to make it looks very cool. I've just been looking at the overhead pictures of some of the roller coasters, and they just look like to Becky's point, they look like roller coasters at Six Flags with some bear theming that they threw in, right? And I don't know, I'm sure they're going to have some cool dark rides and stuff like that, and that's great, but and I'm sure those roller coasters are going to be super fun and really intense and all that stuff. I see it as a different thing, And listen, not to say that Disney doesn't do that, right? They had, the Primeval World, although that's gone, but, and, sparsely themed roller coasters. But you're talking about these huge, roller coasters that they're building that they're just kind of doing a little bit of theming here and there. It's not like the Hagrid's coaster that they made, right? Which, it's amazing.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it doesn't seem like they're doing that with all this stuff in Epic, right? I don't know if they're cutting corners. And maybe it will be. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But just from all the pictures I've seen, it just doesn't seem like that's what they're trying to do. But I don't know.
The way I look at it is, again, coaster junkie, absolutely love the thrill rides, always have. But no one's going to Disney for the rides is really the thing. That's not why people are there for the week. And that's the thing that they can't quite harness at Universal yet. They haven't, in my opinion, and I've only been there one time for a trip, but I've been to Disney. I'd have to really start to think how many times, a lot.
A lot of times.
So that's my opinion. And I have no knock on Universal as being, valuable. But honestly, even my kids are like, I don't think we could do more than like maybe 3 or 4 days at Universal. We're already done. We've done it.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. You just said 3 or 4 days. Now a week is only 2. Yeah, but that's more, the way it is now.
Yeah.
Add Epic Universe, and now you've got another 2 or 3 days.
Assuming Epic Universe is going to be good. I mean, like, all we know is hype. And we don't really know what's going to be there.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's going to stink. Like,
I'm sure it'll.
I'm sure it's going to be. But
I mean, Super Mario Land in California, they were wall to wall insanity packed. But my friend just went like last week, and she's like, "Oh, we got everything in that entire park done in one day, including the whole entirety of like Super Mario."
Well, it's only like one ride there, basically, or 2 rides. It's right. I mean,
but there's a lot more. They did try the immersion. Like it looks awesome, but it's nothing compared to the overseas, like Nintendo.
Anyway, to pull this back.
Yeah.
Well,
all
listen,
right.
I just don't. I don't think they need to build another park to compete with Epic Universe. I think they need to build new things. I just don't think they need a whole 5th gate to compete, because they already still have more parks than Universal does. I mean, Universal likes to count, what do you call it? Volcano Bay as a park, right? So if you want to do that, sure. They've got now 4 parks, and then Disney has 6. All right, like if we can do that.
I will say that if they manage to do the Villains Land that's on the, there's been that rumor where they would do Villains Land on the backside of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. If they do that, I think that might be enough.
Yeah, I mean,
people would love that.
Yeah, no, I
agree.
I fully believe that they are going to build multiple new lands in multiple new places, right? Like, so like even the whole overhaul of Dinosaur. Why am I forgetting the name of that area?
Dinoland USA.
Thank you, Dinoland USA. Like redoing that whole area to be like Encanto themed and have Indiana Jones there. Like that's stuff that they need to do. But like I think the thing with the 5th gate to me, Blake, right? The issue I have with the 5th gate is we all love the idea of a 5th gate, right? Until we see how much it would cost to have a 5th gate, right? Like it would be significantly more expensive to do a Disney vacation. Like you wouldn't be able to really do it all in a week. Like you'd have to spend more time there. Like I think it'd be great to have, but like for me, I like that there's 4 parks that I can do. I can do most of them like twice during my vacation and take it easy. If there's a 5th park, I feel like it's almost too much. But I don't know. I mean, maybe they will do a 5th gate. It's been rumored forever, right? But like, what would you want to see in a 5th gate? Do you just want like a thrill park? Like what do you want to see in that?
I have no clue. But I want something to spread the capacity around.
Yeah. That's what I think they're going to do, though. That's what they're saying here,
and it
right?
definitely would, but I think it would also make it so much more insane on every other park that you're like would eat your words and hate it later.
That's what I've been trying to say. Like, it sounds like a great idea. It sounds like something we all want, but in practice, if we had it, would it be good? I don't know. Disney's hotels already operate in the 90s, as in capacity. You're talking a whole new park that you're going to add. Like, yeah, I don't know.
That's what the Smalley Tower's for, Tom. What are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, go ahead, Flake. What were you going to say?
So I was looking up. So Epcot, right?
Yeah,
it cost $1.4 billion to build back in 1988,
which is how much in today's.
That's what I'm trying to find as a converter. But even even if it was 10 times that much, let's say inflation's gone up 10 times, that's only $14 billion out of a $60 billion.
Yeah,
and. He did say incrementally, but he didn't say what size those increments were going to be. I don't.
It's true. It's fair, Blake. Like, I don't think you're off in saying that it could happen. It could. They said they have 1,000 acres to develop across all of their properties right now, and probably a lot of that is at Disney World. And we have already seen too where, they have plans to expand Disneyland, right? Like they have plans to build like a lot of stuff at Disneyland, and they've been circulating that with local leaders and stuff like that for a while now, right? Like that's not even a secret. I just don't know. I generally I think we're, Becky, kind of that intangible thing you're talking about, right? Is the nostalgia. It's just like it's not just nostalgia though, right? Like it's just a different feeling to it, right? And I don't know how you replicate that. I don't know if it's possible to replicate that. And listen, I think Universal and Disney complement each other in a lot of ways. And I think that Disney actually is okay with Universal expanding because it brings more people to the area. You know,
Yes.
I think it helps them as well. And it's the same thing when, Disney opens new stuff, it helps Universal too. Like it helps both of them. And I think there's room for both of them. Like, I don't think Disney World is going to go into bankruptcy because Epic Universe opens, So, I mean, because they've done, they did all the Harry Potter stuff and those, Universal still didn't pass Disney in attendance, right? Like,
right.
And they did well. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they did bad.
Harry Potter's, they did fantastic.
Yeah, they did great. Yeah, but they were still, the fifth most popular theme park, whatever they were. And I mean, supposedly last year that they did better, but again, we have no idea of the numbers. But I mean, we really don't. It's not something anybody shares, right? So, but I mean, it's possible that they, those Harry Potter, Islands of Adventure, exceeded Animal Kingdom or Epcot or wherever. That's certainly possible. But I'm just saying, like, I just don't see. Especially, I mean, I don't know what's the attendance been like at Super Mario, World in California, like in Hollywood. I don't know. Has it been big? I don't even know.
Yeah.
It's gone down, but yeah.
I'm sure it was big at the beginning,
break,
right?
So
yeah, it was big at the beginning, and that's what always happens, though, right? It's big at the beginning and then it goes down. But I don't know. Like I said, I have no idea where this is going to go. You might be right, Blake. I don't know. I have no idea.
You know what? I'm planting my flag on this hill. I think it's going to happen.
We like making bold, completely not backed up statements on this show. Like when when Damon and I said that a Skyliner definitely wasn't being built at Disney on one of our first shows. So, yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna go check and see if there's a line on this in Vegas. I'm gonna go put some money on it.
Now that sports betting is legal in North Carolina,
we'll fan duel it on.
Yeah, I'm sure they've got some odds on it. No, but listen, I do think that obviously if they're going to invest $60 billion in the business over 10 years, they do recognize that there's a threat there, right? Like they do want to keep expanding and they don't want to get stagnant. They do want to keep building things. And I mean, they've teased us with a couple things that they want to do. And there could be more in the works that we just don't even know about, right? Like they're pretty good about keeping those things under wraps. So I guess we'll find out like I said, I think there's going to be a lot of stuff announced this year. I'd be surprised if we don't hear more about the plans this year. So.
I do agree. Like, there's no chance that they don't have something multiple somethings that they're working on. They just aren't telling us yet. This is like
everyone's impatient. They want to know, right? Like that's what it is.
Well, right, but then the minute they announce it, then it's another 5 years for a replica Tron. So they just gotta wait. They gotta wait till they're ready. So,
well, they better. I mean, the last sentence in that thing is that there's going to be a cadence every year
of addition.
That's
so they
ambitious.
haven't not started. Yeah,
exactly. And I mean, listen, they can say, there's things opening next year. I mean, I don't know what, but they're going to have, like you said, they're going to have a cadence every year of building new stuff, and that's the way Disney kind of likes to do stuff, right? Like. They tend to not open stuff all at once. Even Animal Kingdom when it opened, right? Like I went to Animal Kingdom the first year it was open, and there was, Everest wasn't there. Like there was a bunch of stuff that wasn't there. They opened the park before it was really quote unquote ready, and that's kind of how Disney does things because they're really good at building up hype and continuing the hype, right? Like hey, this event ended, this new event starting. You got to come for this new event. Oh, that event ended. Oh, here's a new thing that's coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they do try to keep it fresh.
They're also really good at taking forever to build something.
That's
so
true.
They better start working.
Listen. You're not wrong. They are very slow. Although I have to say the Tiana thing, the Splash Mountain, redo, it looks like it's moving pretty fast. I feel like they're moving faster than I've ever seen them move.
That is comparing
it to Tron and Epcot. Everything's fast compared to that. So.
I don't know why Tron took so long. It's so odd that it took so long. I mean, I know it was partially the pandemic, right? But like,
sure, yes.
I don't know. Okay, well let's start to wrap this thing up. There's one more thing I got on the list. Unless there's anything else you guys want to talk about from earnings that is interesting.
No, we hit the main
important
points.
things. Yeah. We got the park stuff, we got the movies, we got the epic, we got all of it. So anyway, then the last thing here is 1900 Park Fair is reopening, which it's funny at Grand Floridian. I actually, this is one place I have never been. Is 1900 Park Fair. I've never eaten there. I know of it. I know that it exists. I just have never done it before, and I kind of forgot that it was still closed.
Yeah, we've done it. We had done it twice, and I will tell you, it is the character dining there is amazing. That's
I've
what
heard it's
makes
good. Yeah.
that meal.
Yeah,
but interesting you say this. If you like the link you gave, if you go read that story and look at the comments down below, all people can talk about is like, oh my gosh, the Tremaine sisters are not coming back. I'm not going anymore.
Seriously, the change. I don't dislike the characters they've added, but I think I have no interest anymore. Like, we never did quite make it there, but I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need another.
So, Tom, you've never been there.
I've never done it. No,
the characters that the actors they use to do the Tremaine sisters and Lady Tremaine, man, they are some of the best. Like, they really put on a show during that dinner. I hate they're not coming back.
They're in the parks.
Yeah, they are in the parks. Yeah, they do show up in the parks. I mean,
I rode the carousel with Drizella on my last solo trip. She just hopped on right next to me. I'm like, oh, awesome. And the funniest person in the entire
Oh, yes.
That's amazing.
Oh, my gosh. The best. And I have friends who are in entertainment at Disney, and the stories that I hear, like, oh, that's the job everyone wants, because you don't have to be Disney nice. You just get to talk.
It was like when Gaston was around too, right? Like, yeah, Gaston, exactly. You could be like, yeah. There's a couple of roles like that where you can really be, ridiculous. You
can be as bitter as you want.
Yeah. It's bitter as you want. That's, I always say if I were a cast member, I would want to be a Haunted Mansion cast member, and I feel like you don't see it as much as you used to. Like, it used to be all the cast members would really play up the whole, kind of like
monotone.
Yeah, the monotone. Yeah, I'm trying to think of how you describe it, right?
But some of them used to do that too. Yeah.
Yeah, some of them don't bother anymore. Some of them are really into it, and then others are just kind of like, step all the way in. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, move it. But there's some people that get really into it. It was kind of like the Great Movie Ride, right? Where if you got like a really good host that was really into it, then like it was more fun,
Right.
So anyway, but to your point, they're replacing the new characters are going to be Aladdin, Cinderella, Mirabelle, and Tiana, which, I know you guys are saying like not great that they took those away, but those are all the characters that my daughter would like to see. Well, Mirabelle and Tiana,
sure.
Anyway. My daughter would love to see Mirabelle and Tiana. So, and Cinderella, I guess, but Mirabelle and Tiana more.
It's like someone took a dart and just threw up on a dartboard and said, "Here's the 5 characters we're going to use."
I feel like they're probably more strategic about it than that. I would say, I think they are, but you could be right. I don't know, but it is kind of a weird group. And why would you have Aladdin without, Jasmine?
Without Jasmine,
It's fair. It's fair question. But anyway, so that's reopening. I guess they're doing some new menu items too. But
they're bringing back strawberry soup, and that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Is like, okay,
yeah.
so changing something.
So you've never had strawberry soup?
I have never been. For whatever. Okay, first of all, we talked about this before. Grand Floridian makes me uncomfortable generally. As not a high class person, I go in there and I feel very uncomfortable. So every time I go there,
that's
What's that?
I get looked like my family. The first time we went over, we had, the matching t-shirts and we had a stroller and people were just like staring hard.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying.
And that's why we probably will never come back here.
This is what I'm talking about. You get like,
it's real. It's a thing.
It's
gotten less pretentious. I think post-pandemic Grand Floridian has gotten better.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's never been a priority for us to go over there. It's just not been on the list. Like if we're going to go to like a monorail resort for dinner, we're going to do Ohana, or we're going to do a Chef Mickey's so my daughter can, see Mickey and Goofy and everything. Right. Like, I don't know. It just has not been on our radar. I mean, maybe I'll add it on our radar, for our May trip. I haven't planned anything yet.
So we've stayed there one time. Right. And it was because I had a work conference and the work conference was at Grand Floridian.
Okay.
So we got to stay there. And so our previous trip before that, we had stayed at the All-Stars. And man, that trip to Grand Floridian just ruined us because we
broken.
Oh my God. I can't go back to All-Stars. Like this monorail thing is nice. So anyway.
That's a good show topic, actually, Blake, of what was the thing that ruined you and made you buy DVC? Because I think everyone has that story, right? Like what ruined my wife and I, we used to stay All-Stars all the time. And then on our honeymoon, we stayed at, we did a club level room at Animal Kingdom for our honeymoon. And then after we did that, we're like, there's no way we can go back to All-Stars.
Exactly.
Like, we just can't do it. Like All-Stars was fine before, but now we've got a taste of the deluxe and we can't go back.
Yep.
Like, I think everyone's got that story somewhere, right?
Yep.
That bought DVC anyway. So anyway, so continue what you were saying, Blake. I'm sorry.
No, that was it. I mean, it was once you have that, it's like almost like if you've ever flown first class on a plane.
Oh yeah.
And once you do that, you're just like, oh my God, coach. And
how did I ever do this before? I mean, it's like, how did I ever live the other way? I was on the stretchy bus. Like I was on the bus. Bus with the thing in the middle.
And that was part of it is the buses at All-Star. Oh my gosh.
I know.
Forever.
Yeah. Listen, I don't want to like say it's bad to stay at All-Star resorts, right? Like we liked staying at All-Star. It was fine, right? Like
the stay was nice. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just you go to a deluxe and it just ruins you. It just changes your mindset. You're like, I can't, this is the full Disney I'm getting here. This is the full thing. Like, it's almost different, right? Because like the All-Stars, they're more like cartoony and fun, whereas like, the deluxe resorts take themselves a lot more seriously, but also have those Disney touches in them, right? Like it's just a fancier Disney touch to them. It's a weird thing, but it's a real thing that happens. So, all right. Well, anything else you guys want to talk about, or should we wrap this thing up?
Man, I'm done.
I think we've done all the rabbit holes we could find today.
This is way further than Blake usually will talk. He usually,
I know. I was like,
so.
Might have to go drink an energy drink after this.
Yeah, it's hard to talk for an hour. People don't realize how difficult it is to just talk for an hour, right?
We didn't even talk about food. Damon left, and we still didn't talk about food. This is kind of
food
impressive
to talk about, right? I mean,
I know.
There's no food. Don't worry. We'll talk about food when food's available to talk about. So
I support that fully.
We talked about 1900 Park Fair and strawberry soup. So there's our food talk.
But Blake and Becky, you're both team food. You're hashtag team food. Is that?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm down.
I like food, so yes, I will talk. And I'm not picky. I'm not picky either. Like I love trying new things. So all these things that they put out, I always want to go have some of them. So
yeah, it's I get it. But yeah, I'm hoping Trevor's going to enjoy some of his farts food that he's going to have. So
oh god,
sounds funny when you say it like that, doesn't it?
So he's going to go eat at the cantina at the Mexican Pavilion. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, he always listen. The Mexican, he couldn't not stop at the Mexican Pavilion when I was with him. Also, Trevor's also really into Asian flavors too, so he really likes stopping at like China and Japan. Like those are big ones for him. So anyway, thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate you coming on here and spending time talking about all this stuff. I appreciate taking your time out of your weekend. It's
absolutely.
Thanks for having. Yeah,
of course. Anything either one of you want to plug before I do the ending here?
I
still do your show. Do you still do your uncensored Disney show?
I'm glad to hear that you're still a fan. We do.
I mean, I'm not going to be a fan much longer if you don't invite me to do it with you. I feel like I'm a little hurt here. I invite you all the time.
I mean, look, we'll have you anytime.
I have a very, it takes a lot for me to not curse on this show. So,
man, you are welcome. I will absolutely invite you. Yes, that would be lovely.
All right.
If he's not available, I'll come. How about that?
There you go.
I can
Listen,
freelance
guys,
everywhere.
anytime. You may want to watch it and see if it seems like something you want to do, and I bet you'll want to after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the name of the show, though?
It's on YouTube. It's not Club 33.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And Blake,
it's pixie dust gets sprinkled with a bit of profanity. That's kind of how we.
I mean, if I was on, it's gonna be more than a bit.
Yeah. We try to avoid the first 2 minutes just for algorithm's sake, but it doesn't always work. It never really works.
It is kind of amazing that we've been doing the show for 6 years now, and only one time has anyone ever cursed on it, which is kind of incredible. I mean, because Damon and I are both from New Jersey. Like, cursing is part of our language. Like, it is. Like, you
should hear Damon talk when he's not on the mic.
Oh yeah, no. When we're not doing the show, Trevor, Damon, and I, like, we're very potty mouthed. We're not.
Gentlemen, I was in the military. You don't have to play down.
Exactly, Becky. Becky gets it. So that's why she does an uncensored Disney show, right? So,
yeah, yes.
So wait a minute, who was it you had to bleep out?
I don't even remember. I think Damon one time said a curse that I had to cut out. And then he argued with me whether it was a curse or not. But I think it was. And then there was the one time that people thought that I said a curse, but I didn't. That was actually
awesome.
That was pretty recent. You remember that, Becky, right? I don't even remember what it was.
That was great.
Yeah, but it was one of those internet things, like the blue dress, the blue or black dress thing. Like, that's what it was. Like, half the people heard the curse and half the people didn't. Like, I was like, I played it for my wife. She's like, what? You didn't curse? I hear exactly what you said there. And then half the people were like, no, I hear the curse. You curse. I'm like, but no, I didn't. I know I didn't.
Right.
Like, so anyway.
That was solid. Because, it was...
you remember that. It was a good one. It was fun. Anyway, Blake, do you have anything to plug besides Golden Button Detours?
Sure. Yeah, I'll plug. So, I am actually a member of a music group here in Raleigh.
Okay.
It's a handbell community group. And if you don't know what a handbell is, think about a church group with little old ladies, but we're better and bigger. And we play a lot different music than that. Okay. It's called the Raleigh Ringers. And if you ever want to look it up, you can go to YouTube. Just look up the Raleigh Ringers on YouTube. We've got lots of music. We play everything from classical all the way to Blue Oyster Cult, Don't Fear the Reaper.
Yes.
We do a lot of rock stuff.
On bells?
Yeah, absolutely, on handbells.
Okay, now I need to find that now.
The Raleigh Ringers on YouTube. You can actually look up Don't Fear the Reaper, and that's one of the videos. And you're interested, go look at rr.org. Very simple website.
That is very simple.
And look at our concert schedule. We might be coming to a place near you.
Wow, look at that. My wife used to do the bell thing. She used to do this too back in high school, I think. So
we come out to Charlotte on a semi-regular basis, man. You got to come to one.
I'm probably
when
busy
I come out there,
whenever that is.
I've got tickets for you whenever we come out there.
All right.
I'm the other North State name. That's too far for me to go to North Carolina.
You're the other Dakota.
Oh no, South Dakota's the other.
South Dakota's the other Dakota. Yeah. Okay, is that an offensive thing to say? North Dakota? Like, we don't care about South Carolina.
She's in Dakota the Major, not Dakota the Lesser. Come on,
the Lesser Dakota. We do call it that. Yeah,
because I feel like that doesn't exist between North Carolinians and South Carolinians. I feel like we don't care.
Oh, yes, it does.
I'm sure it does.
I don't care.
You're a transplant. I mean, I'm a transplant here, but
we absolutely call them Carolina the Lesser.
I live way closer to the border than you do, my friend. I live 10 minutes from South Carolina.
That's where your lines are blurred. You don't hear it as much because you have to be able to be. You got to be like Switzerland there. So,
and this is going to be an inside joke for only North Carolina people and South Carolina people. You know that you're in South Carolina because the road immediately becomes terrible.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
Like second
South Dakota has one snowplow, and then
that's a problem.
That's our joke here. Is like, you guys, you cross that border, you're like, oh, better not get stuck here. It's going to snow.
See, I don't mean like snow on the roads. I mean just the quality of the road. It's just like they don't pothole.
Yeah, and they patchwork everything in South Carolina. Bad. There's no complete paving in South Carolina.
Wow, what a random way to end.
We just lost 10% of our viewership.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So if you want to email us, you can reach us at welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com. By the way, again, the contest, if you want to participate in the contest, it's contest@welcomehomepodcast.com. We will allow you to continue to send those emails for like a week or so. So try to send them, before the end of February, and we'll probably pick it at the end of February here. So listen to, I guess all 2 episodes, since I forgot to say the one last episode. But listen to the episodes, send us the email, and we will pick soon. But if you want to email us, welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com. If you have questions, reach out to us, please. You can do it in social media. You can do it on the email. Facebook page is Welcome Home Podcast. YouTube channel is Welcome Home Podcast as well. Our Instagram that we don't ever post anything to is Welcome Home Pics. Our store is store.welcomehomepodcast.com. We got lots of cool stuff on there. That's a good way to support the show. We really, don't make a whole lot of money on the store. So it's more about, putting out cool merchandise that you guys can wear in the parks and can, get more listeners for the show. So that's really what it's about. And then another way to support the show is Patreon. And shout out to Becky and Blake for both being our patrons for the show and getting to be on Discord to see all the weird stuff that we talk about on there.
Making vanilla.
Yeah, like making vanilla, or Trevor just, posted in there about going on Tron, but then never followed up. So we have no idea what happened to him. He may have fallen off. Who knows? I know. But if you want to support us, Patreon. Yeah, he may have fallen into the grid.
Mountain, come on.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. But anyway, patreon.com/welcomehomepod. You can support the show there. You can get exclusive merch, all that fun stuff. So go there if you want to, support the show even further, be part of our Discord, be part of the fun conversations we have in Discord. It very often veers into things that are not Disney related. Mostly, I feel like it's almost mostly not Disney related. We just have fun on there. And then, the big thing, again, if you really want to support the show the most, leave us a 5-star review. You really don't need to, talk about how much you like Damon. You can say, 5 stars. Why is Damon so negative? All in all, a good show, but the hating on most things gets old. Thank you, Louisiana Big Bear. Appreciate that review. That's a real review. I'm not making that up. I like that name too, Louisiana Big Bear. That's awesome. Nice work. And I still don't believe Damon that this isn't a burner that he for that other one. But whatever. So give us reviews on YouTube. On iTunes. Also, it's great if you can leave us a 5-star rating on Spotify as well. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast and you're reminded every time we release a new episode. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube Music. I'd say those so fast, I just know them in my head from reading them for 6 years. And just about any other podcast app that's out there, you can find us. Just search for Welcome Home. Look for the one that's us. And just a reminder to our listeners, Welcome Home Podcast is for entertainment only. We are not employed by the Walt Disney Company, and as such, all opinions we express on the show are our own. So please consult a DVC cast member or Disney cast member for more information about anything we talked about today. A huge thank you to our sponsor of this episode, DVC Resale Market, and World of DVC for continuing to support this show. Please go check them out to buy or sell your DVC contract. Either way, they're going to help you out. Join us next time for more Disney Parks discussion. Of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Do a huddle when we hit its hair. How she can cuddle is no man's affair. I looked around from pole to pole, found her in a sugar bowl.